gamers, and welcome to the Nerdstrom household. My name is Nerdstrom, and I will be playing against myself. And I'm going to be doing a concept that I do normally in practices off camera um, because set 8 is here, and I'm really excited about all these new decks and new possibilities that we can make with the new cards that we have. And honestly, I don't really know where to start. I think with set 7, it was pretty definitive that I really wanted to try blue steel, and I got really excited about it. That's the reason why a lot of the content involved blue steel. But with this set, it's not exactly set in stone as far as like what deck I definitely really want to work on. A lot of decks this set are coming in with a lot of storylines, especially with the rotation coming in. For example, Amber Steel may or may not be a relevant deck going into set 9 with the potential lack of reprints. And so I definitely want to make sure that I give it a chance to go out with a bang. If this is to be the last time that Amber Steel becomes very prevalent. Blue Steel, I still want to establish the dominance of that deck. It is the reigning Nerdstrom House champion, and so it of course is resting in its case right now, and it's represented by one of these boxes over here. And so yeah, I am it's kind of unpredictable. I've got a Churnadogs deck that I've introduced into the fray. I've also created a brand new Emerald Amethyst deck. That's a system that I've never really tried before, and I'm really excited to try something new. I did have to sack Emerald Steel and Amethyst Steel in order to make it, but I think it could be all for the better, especially going into set 9 with a lot of cards being cycled out in the rotation. But Emerald Amethyst coming in with a lot of newer cards that could stick around for a little bit longer. Ruby Sapphire is still out there. Definitely got plenty of support in set 7, so we definitely know it's going to be relevant. And Ruby Amethyst, the granddaddy of them all, is still kicking it, and we definitely want to see if that deck is still strong and relevant for this meta as well. So we have a lot of things to unpack for this set, and we don't know whether or not I just don't really know where to begin. And so with that said, I'm really hoping, I kind of want to leave it all up to chance. And the way to do it to chance is via the old dice roll. So I've got the decks face down like this. So we'll go ahead and pick them together. Now, I did want to let you know that the order of it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from my point of view. These are not sorted out by seeding. I actually went and shuffled the boxes all together. So they're all in different places. So we'll get a more unpredictable result as to which decks are actually going to be playing today. And because I don't know what decks we are going to be playing today, I put them on neutral ground. So no Lorcana relevant mats for today. Instead, I'm just going to be using my Godzilla mats because I love Godzilla. Big kaiju fan. So yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and see which decks we're going to do. I'm also going to do, there's a couple other things that you also keep in mind. I will not be using the tower today because right now it is 10:20 my time, and it is very late at night. And I'm doing this content. You can see that I'm being a little bit quiet as we're coming with the video. You might hear the sound of a fan going on in the background because it is really, really hot in my house, and that's the only way I can cool it down. Apologies if you can't hear too much, but I think you're not here for too much talking of me. It's more of the gameplay, and I say that as we are 5 minutes into this video. But with that said, let's go ahead and see which decks we are going to be playing for today. I call this a mystery matchup. So we'll go ahead and figure out what Nerdstrom is going to play first for set 8. Okay, so we've got a 1 and a 3, which means we're going to pick this one and that one. And then these ones can go ahead and go back into their respective boxes. And let's go see what the dice have chosen today. And today we are going to be playing Amber Emerald Chernadogs, currently the number 5 seed in the Nerdstrom household, and this is gonna go up against the reigning, defending champion, Blue Steel. So, as with any contest that's in the Nerdstrom household, the seeds are always going to be at stake. As of right now, Amber Emerald Chernodog sits at number 5, and of course, Blue Steel sits at number 1. But it doesn't necessarily. So because this is seeds at stake, in the event that the number 5 seed does win its match against the number 1 seed, what ends up happening is all of these, this one takes the place of the number 1 seed, and then all the other rankings go down in ranking altogether. Obviously, now because this is not a house championship, the house championship itself is not at stake on this thing. No matter where Blue Steel lands in the rankings, going into until the house championship, it will always remain in its Jafar case. So just keep that in mind as we are going through this season. Now, because I do not know which decks I'm playing to start off, it does mean that I have to go out and start shuffling the decks themselves. But this deck is, I've been working on this one since set 7. It's definitely been a very relevant deck recently. And with a lot of people kind of planning that aggro is actually going to be taking over the meta, it would be crazy for me to not think of a couple of aggro options for set 8 that I can use in play. And so yeah, that's the reason why set 7 I did decide to go ahead and create this deck. I've been having it waiting in the wings. I think you might have also seen it during the set 7 Nerdstrom House Championships as a buy-in, playing against decks to see like which one could potentially win. Now, on a whole, if I remember correctly, I believe this deck played up against the Blue Steel deck, right? Possibly? No, actually, no. Blue Steel was number 1 at the time, but it was playing up against a deck that it did seem to have trouble against, and so I think it was the Ruby Amethyst deck, right? Or was it the other way around? Actually, I don't know. Could have been, I don't know, something else. I can look at the matchups if I want to. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be smart, and I'm gonna pretend that I know what goes on my channel. So let's see what we got here. Sorry, I'm just checking my history and seeing what the decks actually were. So the buy-in game that Amber Emerald participated in was against Ruby Amethyst. And this deck should have been able to beat it, and somehow Ruby Amethyst won. And as you guys know, during the set championships, Ruby Amethyst did actually go all the way to number 2 and faced Blue Steel in the grand final, with Blue Steel coming out on top. And this is a situation where I look at this aggro deck, and I think there's a possibility that Blue Steel could lose in this match for a couple of reasons. And the reason why is because Blue Steel, compared to all the other decks other 6 decks that I have in the collection, it hasn't really been worked on too much. I haven't done a whole lot of refining of this deck just yet. So with all the new toys that Set 8 has brought for deck, this could be a situation where Blue Steel actually might lose its placement right as soon as it gets it. So we'll see how this plays out, and we get to figure it out all together. So just for the sake of efficiency, I'm not going to be doing the pile shuffle that I normally do for new decks. I'm just going to go ahead and just shuffle a whole bunch and see what becomes of it. So let's go ahead and see let's go ahead and see what we get as far as the dice roll. I think the thing that could be advantageous for Blue Steel is if it can get this dice roll correct right here. Now, because Amber Emerald is the smaller seed, it's going to go ahead and roll first. Ooh, and it gets a 3. It gets a 3. Okay, let's see what Blue Steel comes up with. And it gets a 7. So, Blue Steel is going to go ahead and start first, which means I'm going to go ahead and create the setup for Amber Emerald first. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send back 3. This is going to be a best of 3 matchup, and best 2 out of 3 wins it. And as I said before, seeds are at stake in this matchup. Okay, so there is that. And let's go ahead and take a look at Blue Steel. Let's take a look at my Blue Steel. Okay, so no. Maybe that's actually maybe not pieces, maybe. I don't know. I think I can't take too much risk. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and send back 3. So if you guys are new to the channel, first of all, thank you for joining me here in the Nerdstrom household. You can always remember to like, share, and subscribe for all things Lorcana. I generally do streams where I play against myself in order to train and be familiar with the decks that I create, and I also create decks that are usually would be prevalent in the meta, so that I can either experience them for myself and enjoy them and try to play them myself, or use it as a means to train myself to be a little bit more familiar with those formats. If I don't have the card, I will not play it, and if I don't have the product for it, it's because I'm short. I will not. If I don't have the product, I can't play the card. And that's I feel like that's kind of representative of a lot of players that are out there, just to give us the ability to make do with what we have and try to make the best of the situation that we do have. I am by no means a pro player. I'm just a scrub with the camera, but I thank you for joining me on this channel, and I hope that you enjoy it. So, to my opponent, aka myself, I say good luck, have fun, and let's go ahead and get started. So to start, I am going to ink a Kit Cloud Kicker, and I'm going to play a Kit Cloud Kicker, and I'll pass turn. Okay, I'm going to draw a turn, and I am going to ink a Pegasus, and I will play Nala, and I'll pass turn. Draw a turn. I will go ahead and ink a Kit, and I'm going to spend 2 for Calhoun. And I will push for 1, and I will pass turn. Okay, I'm going to draw a turn. Oh, this is a very poor shuffle, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and ink Merryweather, and I'm going to spend 1 and 1 for Nala and Nala. This is what I was talking about. And I'll quest for 1, and I'll pass turn. Okay, drop turn. I am going to ink Mr. Smee, and I am going to shift Kit. I'll go ahead and challenge Nala and finish it off with Calhoun to gain 2 lore, and I will pass turn. Draw turn, and I am going to ink Dale, and I will spend 3 for Piglet and Little John, and I will quest for 2 to 3, and I will pass turn. Okay, I'll draw for turn. I'm going to ink a Bell. I'll spend 3 for Alice. I'll have Kit sing Strength of a Raging Fire on Piglet. And I will challenge Nala to put 3 strength, 3 damage on that. And I will pass turn. Okay, so I'm going to go draw for turn. I am going to spend 2 for Lilo, and then I'll spend. Actually, no, I'm going to ink Merryweather. And I'll just keep going. Quest for 3 to 6. And I'll pass turn. Turn. I'll go ahead and spend 3 for Alice. I will quest for 2. I'll add Ward to Calhoun, and I will challenge, finish off this Nala, gain 2 lore, quest for 3. And I will pass turn. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what comes of this. We're about to find out. Turn. I like Go-Go, and I'll spend 5 for Lady. I'm gonna send Nala and Nala back. Actually, no, I'm not gonna send Nala and Nala back. I'm gonna send Peggle back. Just so you know, I am able to make mistakes in the Nerdstrom household, fix them, and just know that during my streams I do always accept good constructive feedback regarding my gameplay, because I'm always trying to make myself a better player. I may not be a top player, but I always want to learn so I can potentially be a top player someday. So with that said, I'm going to quest with these 4, 10, and pass turn. Turn. I'm going to ink Mr. Smee. I will go ahead and challenge Lilo, take nothing, gain 2. I will quest and quest 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I add 1 and 1. So, boom. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Just like that. Okay, cool. So, Blue Steel does take the first game. That key was Calhoun. Definitely being able to do that. But I did kind of feel that I was a little bit nervous that the Amber Emerald might pull it off, because it did get a lot of those 4 willpower characters, which only net me 1 more, but are very stubborn to get rid of. So it's interesting that it did go the way that it did. So yeah, nice. With the deck being, with Amber Emerald being oops all characters basically, it's very difficult to kind of like be able to kind of take a look at the board and just kind of, and you just have to have no choice but to just kind of focus more on your side of the board and just making sure that you can still play stuff. So yeah. Okay, so Amber Emerald this time is going to go ahead and start, since it did lose. Let's go ahead and get this shuffled up. I'll tell you what, though, I do enjoy playing Amber Emerald at this point right now, because I only have one fan on one side of the table, and it is on this side. And so it feels very relaxing having the fan right in front. So, anyway. So I should probably actually get Blue Steel taken care of first in terms of the draw. This is going second. Just in case. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send back 3. Where's my daisies, man? Oh. No. Let's just go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and send back 4. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started. So to begin, I am going to gonna ink the tramp, and I am going to play Nala. Best turn. I wonder if my promo Nala went. They do have a foil of it. Can't remember if it's in this deck or not. Okay, I'm going to draw for turn. I am going to ink Mickey, and I am going to play Robin Hood, and I'll pass turn. Drop a turn. Let's see, I'm going to ink Lilo, and I'll play 1 and 1 for Lady and Little John. So as of right now, Lady is a 1/3 character, and I'm going to go ahead and quest for 1. I'll pass turn. Turn. I am going to ink Kit, and I'm going to spend 2 for Calhoun, and I will challenge. Actually, no, I'm not going to. I'm actually going to wait. No, not pass turn. I'll draw turn. I'm gonna go ahead and ink Lilo, and I will shift Lady. Discard to hand. I'm not gonna do that, and I will quest for 4. Quest for 4 because it's turn dogs. Is this what early onset heat stroke looks like? Draw turn. Oh, okay. I will go ahead and ink Lawrence, and I am going to spend 3 to shift Robin Hood. I will. I'll have Robin Hood sing Sink the Raging Fire on Nala, and then I'll finish it off with Calhoun, enemy 2 lore, and I will pass turn. Okay, draw turn. To ink Pegasus, and I'm going to spend 1 and 1 for Nala and Lady. ahead and quest for 3 to 8, and I will pass turn. Drop turn. And I am going to... I'm going to ink a Smee. I'm going to spend 1 for Popsicle, draw a card. I'm going to spend 2 for Calhoun. I will... I'll have Robin Hood sing Strength on John for 3. Finish it off with Calhoun. Take nothing, gain 2. And then I'm going to spend 2 to fire the cannons at Lady. And take 2 damage, and I will pass turn. Okay, drop turn. Could have probably played that a little bit better, but I'm going to go ahead and shift Lady. And I'm going to go ahead and quest for 5 to 13, and I will pass turn. Okay, I'll drop turn. 3 for Alice. Let's see. I am going to banish this lady. Gain 2, and I'm gonna do 2, but I'm gonna banish Popsicle and give it that, and then I am going to have Calhoun and Calhoun both take out Nala, giving 2 lore, and I will pass turn. Draft turn. I am going to spend 3 to send this Calhoun back to hand. And I will... I'll go ahead and challenge. I can get both of them, but that one's a stubborn one. This one also has resist. But then other things won't be able to hit it. So I'm gonna go ahead and challenge Robin Hood, and this will give me 3 damage. If I hit that, it'll knock out Calhoun either way. I'll pass turn. Okay, drop turn. I will go ahead and play Calhoun. I am going to... I'm actually going to go ahead and quest for 2, give this one +1 in ward, quest for 2 to 12, pass turn. Drop turn. I'm going to spend 3 for Julieta. I'm going to take away 2 damage from Lady. I'm going to draw a card. And let's see. going to go ahead and quest for 3. And I'll pass turn. Turn. Wow. Oh my goodness. I will go ahead and spend 2 for Calhoun. I will go ahead and pop Lady. This goes away. I still get my 2 lore. Hit Kit, take 1, and gain my 2 lore. And then I will quest for 2. 18. And I'll pass turn. Turn. Don't think there is anything I can do. Most I can do is play Dale. And question 1. Call it good. So Blue Steel demonstrates its dominance against the upstart Amber Emerald deck. And as a result, Blue Steel wins 2-0 quite handily against Amber Emerald. I think there was a strategy going into this matchup against Blue Steel, because I did at least have things that I could beat. And the thing about this deck is that Ember Emerald has plenty of 1-drops in there, so you can always just kind of keep going. But with Blue Steel, you can be a little bit smart about how you do your combat. A 3 strength Calhoun on its own is not going to knock out characters every single time. If you're savvy with your moves, you can make efficient use of your characters and kind of go on. Now, me, I did luck into 3 Calhouns. I did have that Robin Hood in play, so even if Lady decided to try and attack me with the 4/4 strength, it was still going to be pretty difficult, because you still wouldn't be able to one-shot Robin Hood. So you kind of had to be a little bit smart about the choices that you made. So, but yeah, that was a pretty solid matchup. A little bit unfortunate that it's only that was only best of 3 that went 2 matches. It went 2-0, but can't argue with the results. If you ever want us to see why the Nerdstrom House champion is the Nerdstrom House champion, then look no further than this matchup. I'm going to be doing a couple of more of these kind of matches down the line as the set goes on. I may or may not do the next video on Thursday morning like I normally would. It kind of depends on my work situation and adjusting to a new job. But I will. But if not, if it doesn't work out, then I will be filming on Friday another match pretty similar to this, and I'll make sure that we have unique matchups each and every time we do this one. So until next time, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe for all things Lorcana here on In the Nerdstrom Household. Until next time, my name is Nerdstrom, reminding you that just because I play against myself, it doesn't mean that you have to. Go out, make new friends, and let's get nerdy.